All right, as with any appliance, I like to start out super basic. So that's exactly what we're doing today. Hey guys, my name is Vanessa and I finally have an air fryer. I am super excited about this bad boy, and it is the same brand as my little robotic vacuum, so you can find this on Amazon, and I will have the link in the description box. If you guys don't have an air fryer and you're looking for one, you can click that link and check it out and see if that's the one for you. So I'm very excited about this. I have gotten so many comments of people wanting me to get an air fryer and share air fryer recipes. Now, I would not call what I'm sharing with you guys today a recipe. I am just cooking up a few basic items that I could cook in the oven, but I'm gonna use my air fryer instead and see how they turn out. Because like with any appliance, I already mentioned, I like to start out super basic, so I learn the appliance, what it can do, and start off very, very easy. So that is what we are doing today. I am hoping to do about 7 things, so not all in one day. These are gonna be several different days just combined into one, so you guys can see how to cook several different things in the air fryer. And I'm really excited to start working with this now because I live in Texas and our summers get super, super hot, and I don't use my oven as much in the summer, and I feel like having an air fryer is gonna be so nice because you can bake things in it. So hopefully this thing works. So let's get right into a recipe or thing that we're gonna cook. Number 1. All right, so here is a closer look at the air fryer that I have by Crescent. Again, the link is down below. And I'm gonna be super quick with these because again, they're not really recipes. We're just trying them out versus the oven and if I like it going into the hotter months of the year. So right now, I am just preheating. It did come up, it might come up again, but it said it's gonna take, I'm assuming that means 5 minutes to preheat, which is a lot quicker than my oven. My oven does take a little while, and I do have gas appliances in my house. So I have it set to get to 400 degrees. So we're gonna let it do that. And once it is preheated, I'm going to take my basket out and put in some bacon, and that's what we're going to cook up first. Okay, so once it preheated, it actually turned off. So again, this is my first time using this. I wanted to show you guys the inside there. And then this is the basket. That is a really good size basket. So this is hot. When I put the bacon in there, it was sizzling. And yes, I went ahead and layered mine because I'm going to be crumbling my bacon for something else. So I didn't mind that they are not all just spaced out in there. So we're going to put the basket in there and it's locked. So it turned back on. I think I have to press this, yes, every time I want to use it. And I'm just gonna press the bacon and let that go and see what happens. But the little like tips and tricks that I looked up online said 400 degrees for 10 minutes. So we'll see what their bacon setting does. But you can see there it says 12 minutes. And even though I preheated it to 400, it's still saying 360. So maybe because I took so long putting the bacon in the basket, I don't know. I'm still gonna have to mess around with this, but that's why I am sharing all of it and my first time using it with you guys so you can kind of see what I'm going through with using this. So 12 minutes and we will see what the bacon looks like. Okay, when the time is up, it goes off. Let's just make sure. Yep, and then I press it again. One thing, it's pretty loud, but I knew that it might be off of other people using theirs. So 12 minutes was definitely, I feel like, a little long. No, I think that's okay. All right, I'm going to get the bacon out onto a plate so you guys can see it just a little bit better. Actually, yeah, I think 12 minutes was good. It's super dark because it's Black Forest bacon, so it was already dark to begin with. All right, I think that turned out pretty good. The ends are definitely really crispy, so I think the next time I make bacon, I am going to change the time to 10 minutes and not 12, but it smells really good, and that was still quicker than cooking it in the oven. All right, so bacon check. I like how that turned out. We're gonna go into another breakfast item next. Okay guys, next up, like I mentioned, item number 2 is cinnamon rolls. So I did use a few extra items based off of what I read. So I've got some parchment paper in the bottom of my basket, and then I did use a little bit of my avocado oil spray, and I sprayed that. So I'm gonna get my cinnamon rolls out of this container, and I'm going to put them in the basket with the cinnamon side down. All right, I've got all 8 in there. I'm going to put it in. And for this one, I'm going to cook it at 365 for 6 minutes. I know that's really hard for you guys to see, but 365 for 6 minutes. Okay, time is up, but this is actually going to be a 2-step. So I've got my basket. I'm going to take the cinnamon rolls out so you can see this side cooked, but we're gonna be flipping them over so we can cook the other side. I feel like this is also faster. Oops, the cinnamon rolls take quite some time in the morning. My kids are always like, I save cinnamon rolls for the weekend because they always get like a fruit or something to eat while the cinnamon rolls are cooking. So I'm going to take those out. Also, I'm just gonna use my tongs here. I'm gonna take the parchment paper out, and I'm gonna go ahead and use my fingers. Let's see, hopefully, yeah. And I'm gonna put these back in with the cinnamon side up now. All right. And we only need to cook this. I am gonna go back down to 360, but we only need to cook this for 4 minutes. All right. Okay, I definitely liked cooking my cinnamon rolls this way instead. So that is how they turned out. They are nice and brown. And sometimes I feel like from the oven, you have to wait a little bit, but these aren't like super, super hot, but you can tell that they're done. Like I'm holding this, I mean, it's warm, I can feel it, but it's not burning my fingers. Whereas when I take them out of the oven, I have to wait a little bit. The kids have to wait a little bit. I feel like I could ice these right away and they could just go and start chomping on them. So that's really awesome. Wanted to show you guys how those turned out without the icing, but yeah, now all I gotta do is ice them up and my kids can devour these. Okay guys, next up we are going with a lunch item, nice and easy. Something else that I would just pop in the oven. So I wanted to show you guys on the back here, it says for the oven, 425. I always do the longest number just because I like mine to be completely done and a little crunchy on the outside while the kids do. So that would be 13 minutes. So for the air fryer, all right, so all I have to do is dump the entire bag. This is a 50 count bag. Yeah, 50 count. And I'm just gonna give it a little shake to make sure they're all on the bottom there. Okay, and it goes. So we're not gonna go to 425, we're gonna go to 375, and it automatically starts at 15 minutes, but we're going to go for 5 minutes. All right, time is up, but we're gonna cook them a little bit longer. So I'm going to give them a good shake. There we go. Oh, they look really good already. Okay, put them back in. I'm gonna do 375, and then I'm gonna go down to 4 minutes. And then that's it. I can hear them sizzling. Oh, perfect. So this is typically, I leave them in the oven until they start bursting. So I am excited for the kids to try these. I know they're gonna taste the same, but let's see how the like crunch factor is. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually let these sit for just a second before I put them in my bowl and let the kids go to town. All right, I had Pearl eat one and she said that it was the same exact, nothing different. So that was awesome, and I did save a little bit of time by one, not waiting for the oven to come to pressure, and two, it was a few minutes less in cook time. So I also wanted to go ahead and show you guys with this recipe, or this item that we cooked up in the air fryer, that cleanup is super easy. So I already have it out, but there's a couple different buttons that you press. You've seen me press this one to get the whole basket or the whole compartment out of the air fryer, the cooking part. But in order to get the basket out, which just makes it easier to dump and stuff, you just press this little button here. Super easy. And I've already washed this, I mean, several times with the items that I've been cooking in it, and it's super easy to wash. But I didn't do it on camera, but I just dumped it into my bowl there. And then you can see all the extra crumbs are just down there, and it's super easy to wipe up. So 3 items so far I've cooked in this, and I am really enjoying it. So I've got several things, I think 4, coming up for like items to go with dinners. So I'm really excited to try them in here and not have to worry about the like waiting for my oven to heat up or anything, because there's no preheating involved, which is awesome. Okay guys, it is dinner time, so we are back with the air fryer, and we are going to be having tacos tonight. And instead of using my oven, I'm gonna go ahead and heat these up in the air fryer. So I'm gonna be doing them at 2 different times. This one, I have some stand-in stuffed taco shells, and I would typically cook these in the oven at 350 for maybe 5 to 7 minutes just to heat them up. Sometimes I would go ahead and put the meat in, sometimes I don't. I'm not going to put the meat in this time. I'm only gonna cook these on 300 for 5 minutes, so I'll show you guys that. And then for these, sometimes I heat these up, sometimes the kids don't care. Other times I will wrap them in like a damp paper towel and heat them up in the microwave. I've never done these in the oven, let alone the air fryer. So this is gonna be something new. And for this one, what I looked up, or the information I read online for heating these up in the air fryer, it suggests 300 for 12 minutes, but wrapping them loosely in some foil. So I've got my Reynolds wrap here, and I'm going to be doing that. So let's do the shells first, because that's only gonna take 5 minutes. Okay, so I fit 6 comfortably in the basket size that I have. I'm sure I could stack them and they would be fine, but I'm just going to do these. So let's get this in, and then power. So I'm gonna go down to 300, too far. And then I'm going to go down to 5 minutes. All right. Okay, taco shells are done. Yeah, they feel good. So I'm going to take these out. I'm not gonna cook the other ones. That was so fast that if we need more, I'll cook them at that time. And then now I'm going to get these in there. So I did not unstack these. I left them stacked, and then I placed them on top of some foil, and I'm just going to loosely close this on top like so. And I got the taco shells out, so I'm gonna put this in, close it up, power. I'm gonna go down to 300. This is light to the touch, I am learning that for sure. And then 12 minutes. So this is the longest time that I've cooked anything. So 12 minutes, 300 degrees. Oh, and I guess I have to press start. There we go. All right. Oh, that's not too hot. Oh, I can see it browned a little. Oh, that feels good. And they are, oh, those are really hot. All right, that's awesome. I love how that turned out. Okay, so I was going to cook these to go with a dinner, but I'm gonna do crescent rolls next, see how those go in the air fryer, but I wanna go ahead and try these. It's actually breakfast that I'm cooking these, so the kids are gonna have these with a little bit of jam and butter. So I'm going to open this up. This is the 8 big biscuits. So I do have some parchment paper down and my avocado oil spray on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and open these up and see if all 8 of them can fit in this basket. Okay, so I had to do a little maneuvering and kind of push them in there. So we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and try cooking them all together just so you guys can see. But I think if they stick, I might just do 4, like half and half, or 5 and 3 or something moving forward. So there we have the 8 biscuits. So I'm going to get that in here. And these I'm gonna cook, oh wait, down at 325 for 6 minutes. My hands are greasy from the biscuits, there we go. All right, so 6 minutes at 325. Okay, oh, that's not too bad. Let's see, so we're gonna do the same thing that we did with the cinnamon rolls. We are going to flip these over. I'm going to leave the parchment paper in though. All right, I'm gonna see if I can do it with my fingers. Okay, yeah. I used the tongs at first just to make sure I didn't burn myself, but they are not super, super hot. And you can tell that they're not all the way done yet either. So that's why we are going to flip them so the other side can cook, because there is the heating element right there. So the heat is coming from the top. Okay, they are all flipped over. And I keep turning it off just because I'm filming and it's so loud. But we're gonna go back down to 325 and we're going to go for 5 minutes. Oh, not add, take away. All right, and that should do it for the top of the biscuits. Okay. They definitely look done, but still soft. So I'm going to get these out, let them cool just for a second, and then I will pull one apart in half so you guys can see what the inside looks like. All right, they're still a little warm, but I'm gonna go ahead and, oh yeah, they are definitely done. So let me go ahead and get all this stuff out so my kids can eat some breakfast, because they are waiting not so patiently. But yeah, I loved doing these in the air fryer. Okay, so I told you guys I had Crescent Rolls as well. So it is getting closer to dinner time, and we are having a chicken pot pie soup in the Instant Pot. You guys will probably see that recipe sometime in February. I pre-filmed that for a time where I'm not gonna be here, but I wanted to have some sort of bread on the side for that, because typically your pot pie is in like a bread, like a pie. So I wanted to go ahead and make these on the side for the kids. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up and roll them up just like the Crescent Rolls. I'm also going to be using my parchment paper in the basket, as well as spraying it down with my avocado oil spray. So let me go ahead and get it all set up. I'm hoping there's 8 in here. I was able to fit all of those big 8 rolls for breakfast in here. We'll see if I can fit these 8 in there, but you guys will see once I get it all set up. Okay, so I fit them all in there. We'll see if they stick. I'm hoping they don't, because the biscuits didn't. So we're going to, because everything, all the like the quick recipes and stuff that you find on Pinterest and other websites for the air fryer say to do half the package at a time. Well, if you don't need to, why waste time cooking them? So I'm trying to cook one whole package at one time. So we are going to go down to 300, and we're gonna go down to 5 minutes. Okay, and time is up. Oh, those look good. All right, and then like I showed, the heating element is on the top. So in order for it to cook all the way through and to get crispy, I need to flip them over. So, well, I like that they're not, this one's sticking a little bit. That's because they're still pretty doughy. All right, this is gonna, I'm trying not to touch the sides because they are hot. This is very, very hot. Just a disclaimer there. All right, I'm gonna finish flipping these real quick. Okay, they've all been flipped back in, back down to 300. And we only need to cook them for maybe, I think, 4 more minutes. Yep. All right, let me, I actually think I'm gonna cook these a little bit longer because they still look pretty doughy. Yep, putting these back in. We'll just do another 4 minutes at 300. Okay, much better. I feel like they cook, so the crescent rolls, I don't know. They're okay. I feel like this is something that I prefer in the oven though, but they will work. They're actually perfect for, since we're having them with soup and the kids are gonna dunk them, so it's not the end of the world. But this is one recipe that I think maybe I'll try one more time, but I would prefer cooking them in the oven. All right, you guys, so that is everything that I am cooking up in the air fryer for this video. Like I mentioned, I wanted to just dip my toes in and really use it as a replacement to my oven to start out with before I go in depth and do anything else recipe-wise, more than one ingredient at a time in there. So I hope you guys like this, me sharing the air fryer. Like I said, I think this is gonna be something that I use a lot more often. For one, I actually really love several of those items cooked faster in here, but I could really see myself using this in the summertime to stay away from the ovens as much as possible when, I mean, in Texas, we get 100-day. Last summer was ridiculous. We had several days that were over 100 degrees, and it's just no fun when you're also cooking in your house and it being hot outside. So I am super excited that I finally have an air fryer in my arsenal. You guys, let me know if there's anything specific recipe-wise that you would like to see me try out in this bad boy. Leave that in the comments. Give this video a big thumbs up if you want to see more videos using the air fryer. Subscribe if you guys are new. It is completely free. Hit that bell next to the subscribe button and that will notify you every time I share a video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.